Yo, welcome back to the Cap. This is the real episode 221. We had to do a take two. We recorded a great podcast like yesterday on Saturday, but then at the same time, then Kanye not Kanye, Universal dropped Donda. So that's what we're talking about. We're talking about
Universal
Donda.
Dropped Donda.
Yeah, Universal dropped Donda, and that's what we're talking about. So that being said, on this episode, we'll be talking about Donda. And what does Donda mean for Drake's Certified Lover Boy? See, we're not all
Donda.
But that being said, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And
We
will
will
see you on YouTube, or you will listen to us, or we will talk to you. We will talk with you on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Verbal, and more. So yeah, if you wanna, have a conversation about Donda, join us. We'll be here. Yo, welcome back to the Cap. This is episode 221, the real episode 221. That's RJ Levy-Chin over there. I am Nate Sperlin. Thank you for listening to us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and Verbal and other DSPs. And thank you for watching us on YouTube. Of course, our YouTube community. Drop a like button, subscribe, leave a comment, please. Please help us please our computer overlords. And yeah, help the algorithm out. RJ, you know it's true. You know they're coming to get us, man. When the ATMs start biting your hand, it's over. I'm telling you. See, he's not ready for the apocalypse, but it's all good. I'll make sure that he's good. I'll be like Huey, in the whatchamacallit, the fried chicken flu, that episode where
if Donda dropped and you talking about the apocalypse. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, you were just on this show like last week essentially saying that if Donda drops, hell froze over.
I did say that.
Hey man, excuse me for trying to
I blame Universal for the impending apocalypse.
Yeah, hey bro.
Thanks a lot, Universal.
Thanks guys. Didn't you guys have to work on Minions or something? Why you have to do that? Anyway, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. Shout out to everyone who recorded a podcast yesterday and has to re-record that same episode because Donda has dropped. Shout out to us, RJ. Thank you for doing this again. Yeah, how you doing, man?
Good, man. People hit me up at 8:30 when that shit dropped. And it makes a lot of sense that, like, looking back with Kanye West saying that he did not approve it being released makes a lot of sense because that shit dropped at like 8:30. I was hyped that it had released, like when I had seen that it came out. But when I saw no cover and it was just like black, I immediately was like, nah, something wrong. I'ma still listen. But so I was like, I don't know if all the songs gonna be like. I remember telling people before it dropped, people thought I was joking. And I was like, nah, bro, I'm not going to believe that this shit dropped till like I listen to every fucking song and the shit sound like every song is really there. And I think that most of the songs was there. But then again, what's funny with most Kanye drops, like Kanye drops and mad niggas are mad they got left off. Mad people are like, yo, I got no credit for this. I didn't even know I was going to be on it. There's like a bunch of niggas that are like, wow, I'm not on the Ye album. And there's a bunch of niggas being like, wait, I'm on the Ye album? What? Like, and I think that's so funny. But I also think that Universal is stupid. They know that Kanye West, like every album goes to this. Yeah. Sample clearances, feature clearances and shit like that.
Personally,
so I feel like Universal did it prematurely.
When I saw that it was just gonna be a black album cover, I thought he was taking a page out of the book of Lupe Fiasco, the Food and Liquor 2. That one is also just an all black cover with a I don't know. Well, this Donda doesn't have any curses in it. But the Lupe Fiasco cover, Food and Liquor 2, the Great American Rap Album is the name of it. It's just black and it has a parental advisory sticker, like in I believe the bottom right corner. So I thought he was. I mean, they made Touch the Sky together, so I thought they're
both Chicago artists.
Yeah, that too. They're both Chicago.
They were both. They honestly both like they were leading the be a woke Chicago like bar spitter and like be educational at the same time.
Yeah,
and then they both went down weird personal paths.
Yeah, I mean, well, Lupe Fiasco was more so because of label trouble, but he's gotten back on the wheel since he Drogas Light was insanely what's the word that you used?
Underrated? What are we
No,
talking about?
you said that they were both what type of artists? Chicago.
Woke.
Yeah, like Drogas Wave was extremely in that same
Enlightened.
boat. Yeah, like that same enlightened. Hey guys, I'm gonna tell you a story but it's a story and it's like it's gonna be an analogy, but it low key might have happened. We don't really know everything that happened that time. So yeah, but anyway, you guys, viewers, I already alluded to it, but me and RJ recorded a whole podcast and we talked about Lil Tecca. We also previewed the Drake and Kanye West head-to-head that was supposed to come up this Friday, and Donda dropped, so now we have to re-record it. But that being said, I think that episode, I think that was a really good episode. We also talked about, we were also super hyped about Kendrick finally releasing what is a top 5 verse of the year this year on that Baby Keem song. So I think that podcast episode is probably going to be a bonus episode, probably at I don't know when, but it's going to come out by the end of the year at some point. So be on the lookout for that. But anyway, let's get right into it. We have Kanye West's Donda, 27 tracks, an hour and 48 minutes long, featuring Selena Johnson, Francis and the Lights, Jay-Z, Vori, Playboy Cardi, Fivio Foreign, Lil Baby, The Weeknd, Baby Keem, Travis Scott, Lil Durk, Lil Yachty, Young Thug, Don Toliver, Ariana Grande, Pusha T, Tony Williams, Conway the Machine, Casey, West Side Gun, The Lokes, Jay-Z, Swizz Beats, Chris Brown, Pop Smoke, Roddy Ricch, Shanicia, Sunday Service, The Baby, and Ty Dolla $ign. RJ, while I catch my breath, because that is a long ass feature list. What did you think about?
Don't worry, he
Donda?
meant the locks. He knows he meant the locks.
Oh yeah, I did. I'm sorry, I was just in the middle of it.
Are you asking? You asked what do I think about the album?
Yeah, what do you think about Kanye West Donda? Is it everything that you hoped for? Is it a 10? What's up?
I think that it definitely hit my expectations. I think that it's a balance of like Yeezus and Jesus is King, in that the gospel energy is very prevalent. I think that the hip hop songs are great. I think some of the songs are very long.
Oh God.
But I also think that there's not that many bad verses on the song. Like the worst verses are there's not all the features went off for a gem. So I think that it's one of those albums that like every Kanye West album, there are songs that some people are not gonna like, some songs people are gonna like, but then there are songs that are just gonna be iconic. So that song with the doo-wop sample is crazy.
Yes.
Pure Souls is crazy. As a person that's listened to Hurricane or 80 Degrees or whatever you want to call it, from every iteration, from the original iteration to the final iteration, I'll personally say I like the original iterations a little bit better, but I think that The Weeknd did his thing. I think the Lil Baby did his thing. I don't like, apparently Ariana Grande, Chris Brown, like there's a lot of people that are on this album that aren't really prevalent. Like you don't really know that they're on it. They're just kind of sneakily on it. Mm-hmm. And I do think there's a lot. It's funny that apparently Soulja Boy was supposed to be on it. The Baby was supposed to be on it.
Well, he's on it.
Chris Brown is upset about something. I don't know what he's upset about, but he's upset. He's upset.
Yeah.
And like most Kanye releases, right after release, there's a lot of people being like, hey, I thought I was on this. And a lot of people being like, oh, wait, I'm on this? I didn't even know. Like Kanye didn't send me a dime, right? So we got to see how that turns out, especially since apparently Universal releases without his approval. Kanye West does a lot of things last second, and that includes clearances. So I got to see kind of how this album evolves. As a person that listened to all the listening parties, I think the one verse that I am actually missing, is probably Kid Cudi. on remote control. But other than that, I think all the songs were really legit. The ordering and the way that he spaced the album was the weirdest part. I remember you said in the group chat that we have that it's not as cohesive as, say, Call Me If You Get Lost. And I think that the order he released the album in is by far the least cohesive version when you go back to the 3 listening parties. I mean, it just made no sense being like that. I don't know why there's a bunch of part 2s of the same song. It's like the same song. Feature... There's one verse that's it's only one different verse. And it's like I wish the Shenseea verse and the Lil Yachty verse were on the same song. I didn't think that they needed to be 2 separate songs.
I mean,
but I guess he has his own vision, so he got to.
Also, Jesus Lord is, I think the original one is 8 minutes long, and then he extends it after the fact to be a part 2, and then that one is 11 minutes long. So that's like 19 minutes of the same song.
And that's probably, there are a lot of people being like, oh, I don't like this song, I don't like this song. And I'm like, I don't care, I love that song. Jesus Lord was the one song that when I heard on the listening party, I was like, nah, this thing gonna really have that. I'm like, Jesus, every 10 seconds for real. I just got it. Okay. And it's gonna be 12 minutes too?
God damn.
All right, copy.
Yeah. I mean, I thought the project was good. An hour and 48 minutes is super long, but one thing I will give Kanye an applause for is the fact that he kept my attention for all 1 hour and 48 minutes. And that's something that artists that
only
drop.
Kanye West can. There's
only
not many artists.
Maybe Tyler, maybe only the greats, only the people who really, really pay attention to production are gonna keep my attention for that long. Yeah. So
I agree. That's true. And 2 hours, because even an hour, we get tired of a lot of 20-song albums that are only an hour. So to keep my attention for an hour and 4 of the songs are just remakes of that's the Kanye effect for real.
Yeah, nah. But that being said, I will not be listening to this album in full again because I don't see what I would have the time to do so. I'm just gonna take my tracks and go. And that being said, I have a lot of tracks here that I enjoy that we'll get to later. But overall, good track. Everybody, like you said, RJ, everybody did their thing. Fivio Foreign delivered the best verse of his career, and it's not close.
Yeah, he really did.
It's genuinely not close.
I don't know if you peeped, but apparently he's executive producing his next project.
Kanye also said that he was executive producing Chance the Rapper's project at one point. So I don't really.
He was.
Well, I don't.
They were going to drop. Chance was going to have his own 7-song project.
Mm-hmm. Well,
he fucked that up for himself.
To paraphrase you from a previous episode, a Fivio Foreign and Kanye West produced album does not exist until you're listening to the last song.
Yeah.
Just to paraphrase you.
Listen to the last song, you completed it, and you're like, guys, I've heard it. It exists. I've listened to it.
Nah,
you gotta play the last song because the last song could be blank, and you're like, wait, what's happening?
Kanye would do some shit like that. Just have white noise as the outro.
I'm waiting for him to do it.
He would do some shit like that. People have made that
joke for so long, and I'm really waiting for, because he is. I mean, he really is like the one guy where like people would like be listening to a whole blank song, like
the Kanye stands would go crazy though. Oh, I think I hear it. I think I hear it.
Because I realized it was 4 minutes and 44 seconds. So then I was thinking about like Jay-Z, and then I was thinking about breathing because Jay-Z breathes.
Hey,
I was like, damn, so maybe I'm Jay-Z. Ooh. Kanye different. Kanye, I'm telling you, that's how Kanye stands do.
Yo, Kanye, man, he'll definitely do some shit like that. But this is how Kanye stands will probably try to justify a 4-minute track with nothing on it. Only 2 teams, Jims and Joes. We still don't know what Charles Barkley's talking about there. But that being said, good project.
I know what he was talking about. He was talking about bums. He's talking about scrubs. Jims and Joes are just guys. They're just like people.
No, but he's like, all right, so boom. There are teams with Jims, there are teams with Joes. Like, how do you tell the difference if Jims and Joes are just guys? How do you tell the difference between Jims and Joes?
Because Jims are like regular trash niggas, and Joes are just average trash niggas.
Yeah, but he's saying it like you're supposed to have Jims and Joes on your team.
Because everybody just needs, regular niggas that's just gonna put in the work. They just Jims and Joes are the blue collar basketball. Is a blue collar basketball player.
All right, but at the same time,
every championship winning team has to have some blue collar players, especially in this day and age with the way that the league is. If you don't have some blue collar, hard nosed niggas, you're not gonna win a championship.
But if you're trying to compliment a team, you're not gonna say, "Yo, that team is full of Patrick Beverleys." Like, you're not gonna say that.
Exactly. You're gonna say Jims and Joes. That's what you're gonna say.
Nah, but
Jims and Joes.
Patrick Beverly's also from Chicago.
The Dellavedova. That's a gym.
I will never forget.
That's a gym right there.
People love to. I'm just gonna say that Steph Curry made Dellavedova look like a good player because of how Dellavedova was locking his ass up. I'm gonna just say that, but just be said. But moving on. Is this an album of the year? Because it's definitely in the conversation.
It's hard to say. It's hard to say. I think that it's in the conversation. I think that it's my album of the year because the highs are higher than. Remember when Call Me If You Get Lost came and I was like, there's not a standout song on this project. It's just really good as a whole. Is that this album is one good as a whole and there are highlights. So I think that the highlights are bigger than all the highlights on Off Season. I think they're bigger than the highlights on Call Me If You Get Lost is an album that I don't think was meant to have many highlights anyways. I feel like Juggernaut became a highlight because Lil Uzi's on it more than like him being like, I want this to be a hit song. So I think that it's album of the year right now. It's hard to say because I'm literally pink polar up, but I'm still as much as I'm riding with Kanye, I think that this album is on the same as a person that thinks that The Life of Pablo is one of his most slept on albums, one of his best albums. I think that this is that level. I think it's the same level as like if you liked Yeezus, I think that this is a similar level to Yeezus. If you didn't like Yeezus, this is better than Yeezus.
If you think this is bad, if you think that is bad, this is better, and if you think that is good, then it's the same level of good.
Yeah, then it's the same level of good. But I think that I don't know. I'm still with Kendrick. We smoking on your top 5 tonight. We still smoking on your top 5.
Hey,
right
bro.
Now. I also think that Drake now knows. I think that Universal released it because Universal knows that they can't battle Drake. They understand the game.
Or maybe
Drake is never going to lose. Drake is the machine. That's how that works.
Or maybe Drake put in the call. Yo,
I don't think that Drake has.
Universal intern, do you have any access to that button? You want to do a favor? You could get a feature on Certified Lover Boy if you want. I'll bring you out on every single tour. But can't just press that button for me real quick, like on Sunday around 8:30, please. Thank you.
I do wonder what was next, though. Like Kanye was just like, I didn't approve for this to be released. I remember not his manager, but somebody that was connected to him was like loading. We sent all the files, like we sent to the streaming service. They have them, and they released within 8 hours of the guy that posted that. So that means that one, I think there was miscommunication. Two, I think somebody at Universal was like, I don't care. Like someone was like, I'll get fired. If
the intern who got paid by Drake. The intern who got paid by Drake. Yeah.
But I don't think that it works in Drake's favor for Kanye to come out first.
No.
I just don't think it works in his favor.
No, it does.
Because if Drake drops what Certified Lover Boy's supposed to sound like, it can't touch what Kanye's released. Not because it's not going to be good, not because it's not going to be what people want, but because it's like one album is like God's Warriors and the other one is like, look at how emotional I am.
Well, let me return to a previous point. Is this album of the year? I think that Call Me If You Get Lost is still the album of the year. I think that it's more cohesive. I already said that I'm not listening to this full album again because it's just so long. And I routinely listen to Call Me If You Get Lost in full. probably at least twice a week. It's still really, really high in my rotation after 2 months. I think that the long songs, I think that this the sequencing here on Donda kind of does the album a disservice, because when you look at Call Me If You Get Lost, all the tracks lead into the next one and they all have their purpose. But I think here it's knowing how meticulous Kanye is for the level of the standard that he set over his career. This is sequenced like a bunch of songs put together. Just when you compare it to other
The Life of Pablo was sequenced very similarly.
Yeah.
There's a lot of songs where it's like, why did you have this outro? Like, why did you do that? But I also think that
But that being said, I think that's why I think just when you look at the little intricacies of each project, I think that, yeah, Call Me If You Get Lost doesn't have Off the Grid, it doesn't have Junya, it doesn't have Remote Control, it doesn't have the hits, but every single box in terms of, is it cohesive? Check. Are the interludes timed? Check. Does he overwhelm you with the amount of time that you're spent listening to the project? No. Check. I think all of those things are little things that help in Tyler's favor. And that being said, I think it's also something where this debate between Donda and Call Me If You Get Lost is something where you have to be nitpicky about it. And I think with all my nitpicks, Tyler wins. So I think I still have to give it to Tyler for Album of the Year. I
think Tyler, the Creator, released a movie.
Yeah.
And I think that Kanye West released a sonic experience. And I think I'm all about the highs. I think music in general is about the highs. I think that being able to be in your church bag and still have the highs on a rap level is huge.
Yeah.
I think I think that what the biggest thing that it showed me, especially just talking about the pure amount of features, is that Drake, being an artist and not a producer, is not in that position to have 80 features and us be like, oh, that's not weird. Like that's
it might
regular.
Quite literally be 80 when you think about the producers on this.
Not fully, like seriously. The amount of niggas that was sleeping in fucking Mercedes-Benz Stadium was crazy. Yeah. Is that it's really going to take for the Drake album, for the J. Cole album, for the Kendrick album. Those are the artists that I think could make an album that are on this level when it comes to just excitement and hype. Mm-hmm. Is that I think that Kanye West album is beatable. Mm-hmm. But I think that it's more about the type of music that it is, because Kanye West is making traditional hip hop sounds.
It's not as vulgar.
Yeah.
In certain places too.
And that's the thing, is that it's not, there's so many, I mean, it's clean. There's so many aspects of it that I feel like put it at, risk is not the right word, but it's not, it's not a powerhouse. It's not Alabama. Yeah, it's not one of those things where it's like, football. This thing makes up for all of these things when it comes to an album that will sacrifice a lot of the things that, not even sacrifice, just like wouldn't do the things that Kanye West did because they don't think about music like Kanye West does.
It's funny.
But I think that we're going to have to see, because I'll be honest. If I would be scared if I was Drake and Kendrick is dropping soon and J. Cole still drops at the end of the year. I don't think the fall off is going to come this year.
I don't think it's coming.
But it could. And if it comes January, February, like that's not good for Drake. Yeah. Drake does not want to be in the middle of Drake, Kendrick, and Cole. I just don't think so.
It's funny because as you were talking about how the vulgarity that usually comes from a hip hop album isn't here, I was thinking about a Family Guy cutaway where they were talking about Will Smith and his clean hip hop raps and how he didn't curse or anything like that. And this is literally the best case scenario out of someone who decides to make clean rap, which is a super high, but it's literally the best case scenario. So it's like all these times when I don't know, Logic is talking about, hey guys, I don't rap about this, I rap about this. And it's like, well, none of that really touches Donda, sir. I'm sorry, like, you're good, don't get me wrong, but you ain't do Donda. You ain't make that. But yeah, I think that if you have a pink polo on and you're clearly in stan mode with your Kanye listening experience, so I'm gonna go quick stan mode here. If Kendrick drops and it's anything like I'm expecting it to be off of that one, just based off my expectations off of that feature from on that Baby Keem song, Family Ties, Kendrick is beating this.
Yeah.
I think
we're smoking on top. We're smoking on niggas top fives.
Oh no.
Like fully.
Tonight.
No, like no joke. We are smoking on niggas top fives.
Brother.
I'm starting to feel bad for Drake.
Brother.
I'm starting to feel bad for Drake because when the rap niggas, like the real rap niggas, happen to all be in conjunction with each other, that's the only time that Drake's stock goes down. Yeah. Because niggas are ready to listen to rap. And this nigga Drake is ready to tell you about how his baby mama still don't text him back when he says the motherfucking child.
Yo, why you singing, bro? We want bars, homie.
And that's the thing.
Hey, put that Griselda on.
I told you. I said Drake in rivalry mode. And what scares me about Drake in rivalry mode is that Drake in rivalry mode is more impulsive than regular Kanye West.
I also think that it's going to be, excuse me for my lack of exact history knowledge, but I think it was the French in the 1900s during Napoleon. They lost a war because they were fighting on two fronts. And I think Drake is going to be doing the same thing here because he's going to be battling Kanye. And he's also, if Kendrick drops, he's also going to be battling Kendrick. And because of that, it's just going to make the overall, for the lack of a better word, the strategy or the country of Drake to use to follow along.
They're going to be stretched too thin.
Yeah, like it's going to be stretched too thin. And because of that, that could also be a reason. But okay, I'll go back. I also want to quote what you said yesterday. What I said.
I am way more in agreement with you that Certified Lover Boy has to be. I mean, we were on the same page with that.
Oh yeah.
Certified Lover Boy has to be his best album yet.
It has to be a 10. Oh no, for sure. It has to be. It has to be a 10.
It has to be.
It has to be a 10. It has to be.
This is the pressure. His best album. Period.
This is the pressure.
If he don't drop his best album, everybody gonna be like, "Nigga, you lost." He's gonna sell mad records. He's gonna sell hella records, and niggas still gonna be like, "Bro, you lost." And Drake gonna be dropping a single, be like, "I sold more records, but niggas saying I lost. I guess I'm not a boy." And niggas be like, "Yo, Drake, like you gotta stop crying, bro. You lost."
Why are you still dissing them?
Yeah, for real. Nah, I'm telling you, 2022 March. Drake
but that being said, if Drake
because other goats came, I'm like, yeah, they came.
Yes, we were snoring. Nah, but all that being said, like if Drake actually dropped Certified Lover Boy and because we haven't heard Certified Lover Boy yet. If it drops and it's better than Donda, then we will be singing a completely different tune next episode. Like,
what is
for
that?
Real.
You know what's weird though? What does that look like? Listening to Donda, what does that look like? Like the expectations are now so high. Like I really listening to Donda. I'm like, Drake should have dropped first. Because if Drake drops
that's
first,
a good question. Wait. No. Let's flesh that out a little bit. What does a Drake project that is better than Donda look like? What does he have on there?
Bro. His emotional shit has not hit for his last 3 albums. So I really don't know. It's hard to say. He hasn't had a good album since I was in high school. So it's like,
what is that?
He hasn't had not a good album. I won't even say that because I thought Views was good, like listening back. He hasn't had a world-renowned
pinnacle
respect, like respected by everybody. He hasn't had a project like that since Nothing Was the Same.
Yeah.
So it's really hard to like imagine what the best Drake project that we've never heard before would sound like. Because at the end of the day, if you listen, if he couldn't drop Take Care, because I mean, Take Care is a little bit dated. There are some songs that are that did not age well because they were very like 2012 type songs. But Certified Lover Boy has to be this balance of, you know, one dances and laugh now, cry laters.
Nice
and,
for what?
Nice for what's, and in your. It has to be a project where the hits are emotional, the B-sides are emotional, and that Certified Lover Boy title is made good upon. It all works.
I hate that I have to say this, but for Drake to beat Donda, he has to drop a project that radio DJs can play in full. Every single song be a slapper.
I agree with that.
Every single song.
And that don't mean they have to be the same vibe. Like Laugh Now.
No, they don't. No, they don't have to be the same vibe. Like Nice for What, In My Feelings, you know what I mean? Are all different type-esque vibes. When you think about what's the one on Nothing Was the Same?
Which one?
The hit.
Worst Behavior.
Yeah, Worst Behavior. Well, not worse. I wasn't thinking Worst Behavior. I was thinking Started From the Bottom. There's another one on there.
305 in My City.
No. Oh wait, hold on.
There's a lot of songs. There's a lot
there
of
is.
hits on that
There
album,
is. There is.
You talking about an upbeat song?
No, I'm talking about like a more R&B-ish type song.
Oh, Come Through.
Wait, hold on.
Not Come Through. Come Through is the best.
I might be saying the wrong thing. Hold On, We're Going Home.
Oh,
that's the track I was thinking about. When okay. Like it has to be like there could be that's the same level of I guess superstardom or pop or you know like
he has to get in all of the singing bags. He has to pull out all of the Infinity Stones that we've been making memes about for years.
It has to be.
He has to use them all. He got to do the Thanos.
It has to be.
If you don't do the Thanos snap, it's gonna be a problem.
It has to be KD Game 7, but on the last shot, his foot isn't on the line. That's what it has to be.
It got to be LeBron James Game 6 in Boston. That's what it needs to be.
Or LeBron James Game 7 versus the Warriors.
Yo,
you want to keep going back and forth?
It gotta be. How many LeBron James? You know what I'm saying?
LeBron versus the Pistons is pretty good too.
Bro, like the more that I think about it, it's hard because I think everybody's hyped for the Drake album because it's Drake.
Yes.
Specifically because it's Drake. But Drake really has not dropped a project that we're all like, oh yeah, we like this a lot in more than half a decade. So it's like, maybe I'm fucking my own expectations up because I've always been like, oh, maybe Drake is not as much as an album artist.
No. This man announced the project a year ago. And I alluded to it yesterday on the Lost podcast that you guys will listen to at some point. But I was saying that essentially when you announce your project, that's when expectations start to, like expectations grow with time. And we have known that Certified Lover Boy, we have expected Certified Lover Boy to be out for multiple dates over the past year. And that being said, the expectations are something that might not be manageable at this point because it's been a year. And me, when I'm hearing, yo, fans, I love you guys. I really want to put this album out, but it's not like I'm going to push it back. In my head, I'm like, oh, so it's gonna be perfect. And if this project, if Certified Lover Boy has a single technical blemish in terms of mixing, in terms of verse placement,
40 does his job arguably better than Mike Dean does.
If there is anything where it's like, okay, you didn't need to do this beat switch here. We didn't need this third verse here. If there's anything like that, it's not better than Donda. It has to be, it literally has to be perfection distilled. And I'm not saying that because this is an alcohol commercial. I'm just a fan of hip hop.
It's gonna be hard to do. It's a tall order.
Very hard. But at the same, if Drake does it, I'll let the stands rock for a good year.
You know what's wild though is that if Drake does it, it's gonna be like, oh, this is Drake's first completely solidified classic.
Yeah.
Right. And then it's just gonna be topped by Kendrick, and then it's just gonna get topped by Kendrick, and then we're all just gonna be like, well, Thanks, Drake. Bye.
I am so excited. I am so excited for the next Kendrick album. I'm so excited. This is the most excited I've been in a while.
Be a real testament to Drake's core fan base if the album is not certified lover boy music. I think that Drake said, I think that what you said, the Napoleon reference was incorrect. But I think that you were very, very.
Oh, was it Napoleon? I thought it was Napoleon.
I don't think it was not the 1900s. I don't think.
Hey, bro, the French lost the war because they were stretched too thin. That's what you should think.
Is that I don't think. I think that Drake sets him up for failure if he tries to do more than 3 or 4 hits that are like Young Thug and Future and like having like Atlanta niggas on it. I think that he sets himself up for failure if he tries to make too much Atlanta music. He has to make Toronto music. He has to make Drake. We want Drake music. Drake has to make more Drake music because the difference between Kanye and a lot of other guys is that Kanye is evolving. He's making new sounds and sonically he shifts throughout his career. That Drake hasn't shifted. He's just added new skill sets. Mm-hmm. And with each new skill set that he's added, he's removed himself from his original sound. And it hasn't necessarily been growth, but more, I'm going to leave this sound out so that I can do this other shit. And I think that this, especially Certified Lover Boy, I think that it's going to be Views-esque. It's going to be Take Care-esque. And it has to be the hits on the very, I'm not going to say that it has to be perfect. On the very least, we have to have the hits. Mm-hmm. I know we're going to have the hits. Laugh Now, Cry Later was supposed to be the leading single. Mm-hmm. That's one of my favorite Drake songs that he's dropped in the last, few years. If that's going to be the vein of most of the songs, I think that he has a good shot of making a good album. Mm-hmm. That being said, it has to have the emotional Drake-esque stamps and staples. Because Drake is past making good music because people are going to listen anyways. He's going to get the streams. So it's about what is the music like for you and Call Me If You Get Lost that's going to make me want to replay the project as a whole 3 weeks later, 4 weeks later, 3 months later, a year later.
That's the one crack in Donda's armor. That this is not a project
I think
that
the reason why I'm okay with that is because it's so long.
Yeah.
It's so long that like, say it's different than say like a Future project that has 20 songs or, any trap artist has 20 songs because
I don't know if Future drops 20 songs. Most trap
artists are not trying to be cohesive.
Because I'm gonna be.
Future's a little bit different.
It's been a minute. It's been a minute since he dropped. Don't do that.
Trap artists when they drop 20 songs,
I'm in full stand mode. I'm lit.
At least like 25% of those songs are gonna be very similar. They're gonna be the content base is all the same, anyways. So getting the songs that you like and going is a lot simpler. But with Donda, it's like there are so many songs that are good that a lot of people might find themselves listening to the project just because they're like, oh, I like the next song, and just keep playing it until they find a song that they don't like,
or until they have to do something else.
And that's why the sequencing makes no sense because all the long songs are at the front. That makes no sense. It makes no sense. There literally is a sample on a Kanye West song on Kids See Ghosts, where I think it's like an A&R or somebody, and he's like, yeah, you only need a song to be like 2-3 minutes. Like, that's it. You only need like 2 minutes. And so like for this thing to be having like 12-minute songs is kind of crazy to me, especially when they're all up front. I think a lot of people hit me up being like, I didn't like the beginning. Oh, actually now I'm starting to like this album. It's kind of good. And it's like, bro, yeah, like he put all the good songs like towards the middle and the end. I don't know why he did that, but that's what he did. I mean, so I agree that it's not easy to listen to through, but I think because he's Kanye, the amount of songs that you take before you go are an album or a full album's length worth of. Like it is very rare for you to pull up to an album and take 10 songs. Yeah. You're like, I can take these 10. There's not a lot of artists that can do that.
At the same time,
Drake has to have 10 for me.
At the same time, going back to my analogy last week, when I was saying field goal percentage Field goal percentage on Donda is pretty low when you consider 27 shots. Probably I'm looking at what I have here. 1, 2,
how many misses
3,
you
4,
think he has?
5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 for 27 is what I have for him in terms of the tracks I'm going to keep replaying.
You only like 10 of them songs?
I mean, I only like 10 of them enough to keep replaying them. I didn't think there was a track song
Jail,
here.
Off the Grid, Hurricane, Jonah, Junior, 24, Remote Control, Moon, Heaven, Hell, Keep My Spirit, Jesus Lord, New Again, Pure Souls, No Child Left Behind.
So how many is that?
That's 14.
14?
14 out of 26.
I mean, well, I also think that because this is such a huge album, people are going to have different, they're going to take away different songs from the project. But I do think if we center the conversation around Donda and Kanye West, and if we talk about the rollout, I think, and I'll even mention Tyler the Creator when I make this point, I think that the experience around music is something that is being emphasized this year. When you think about 3 listening parties for Donda, we talked about in the Tyler the Creator episode how he creates a whole experience with his music. When you look at the music videos and everything else that he does around his performances and stuff like that, I think that if you really want to get to the top of hip hop, you can't just make good music. You have to focus on having something tangible, whether it be when you look at Travis Scott with his merch, the McDonald's partnership or something like that. It has to be something tangible where people could be like, I have this. Like I have this. I saw him on stage and he performed this album and it was amazing. Like I have the videos, or the merch was crazy. I wear this shirt religiously. Like I think there has to be something. It's like the difference between NBA 2K and Madden. Like Madden is just gameplay. You're just gonna grind your player and then you're gonna get to a 99 and then you're gonna get bored. But 2K, they have so much extra stuff within the game in terms of being able to sign endorsements and having to press conferences and literally the life of an NBA player. That's why 2K has been running the sports genre, in my opinion, for all years. So I think that I say that to say, I think that when you look at Donda, when you look at Call Me If You Get Lost, the main point I'm trying to get across here is that the experience is something that will also greatly benefit your album. The same way when I think Vince Staples was talking about how when he makes an album, he makes it with the idea of performing it in mind. So yep. I think all that being said, I think that I've repeated it twice, so I'm going to repeat it the third time and let RJ have his opinion on it. But experience is very important. And it's when you have the top dogs like Tyler, Kanye, and even some of the lower level dogs like Vince Staples, thinking about Travis Scott did it, thinking about when I perform this album, how is it going to be in concert? I think that more artists should follow that trend. And if they do, the ones that do it the best will also have the most staying power.
Well, I mean, I think that it's all that not every artist has that creative piece to be able to be thinking about all these things and conjecture with each other. I remember I was listening to or watching the Shop episode that recently released, and Jack Harlow was talking about how his debut album had a lot of emotional stuff on it because he was recording it during the pandemic, and he understood that people were inside in the pandemic. And so while he enjoys making hype songs, he was like, I'm not gonna be able to perform these songs. Like, why would I focus on myself on making a bunch of shit that would really only work if you're turning up and you're performing, if I'm never going to be able to perform it? I want to make music for the people that are inside right now. And being that keyed into what's happening is not simple. Remember, we talked about this a lot during the 2020 podcast where we like, niggas are inside, and it doesn't seem like the niggas releasing music know that. It seems like niggas did not see that niggas are inside. They're making music for niggas that are outside. Mm-hmm. So I think having that extra mindset of like, I'm releasing this album because of where it could be listened to and the different settings that it can be played in, which is why I agree with what you said about Drake album. Drake's album has to be able to be played in any setting, anywhere, whether there's the candle lights on, whether it's strobe lights, it got to be able to work. And I think that Drake has the talent. I just haven't seen him do that on a project. Yeah. It hasn't happened yet. We haven't seen it yet. So I'm asking things out of Drake that he has never shown me. It's kind of like when I was asking out of Giannis, nigga, go win a championship. And then he eventually did it. But when I was first asking him before this year, that nigga was getting kicked out in the second round. And I was like, wow.
By the really Miami Heat.
So I think that Drake, it's a tall order. Mm. I think Drake is one of the best artists of his generation.
Anyone should be able to fill the order. It's kind of like Curry.
It's kind of like if Curry got another chance at the finals and he was the only star. And everybody was like, nigga, we know you're good. We know you're great.
But take over.
But it's time to add another notch to the legacy.
You need a finals MVP.
Yeah, we need to see it again. We got to see it again for sure. We know what we've said. But we can't put you. There's another level for you to go up. And we can't put you on that level till we see it. And I think that Drake has put himself on a level because of the records that he sold. And I got more slaps than the Beatles. But at the end of the day, when you ask niggas, even Drake stands, when you ask niggas what are his classics, they start scrambling. And Certified Lover Boy being his first true classic will end a lot of debates.
It would.
I don't think that it'll put him on Kanye West level, because I think that what a lot of people miss is that Kanye West literally produced some of the best Jay-Z songs ever. Jay-Z, to many people, is the best rapper
Kanye
ever have graced hip hop ever.
Kanye can stop rapping today and produce for a lot of other rappers and still be as impactful.
Exactly. And Drake will never ever be that guy ever. That's just not Drake. And there's no problem with that.
Yeah, like
Drake just don't produce music. He's not a producer.
He's not a beat maker. He does
not make beats. So it's like, you know, Kanye West literally can be like, all right, I'm gonna go executive produce Pusha T's albums,
Fivio
Taylor's albums, Kid Cudi's albums, and be making #1 gems for the rest of his life and never release a solo album ever again. And we'd still look at Kanye West just selling shoes and producing albums and be like, oh my God, Kanye. So Drake really, 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 really has to come correct. And what's crazy is, as we've said, Drake's going to sell more records than anyone else, even Kendrick, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Is that like that part doesn't matter. It's going to be about like how do people respond to the music. Mm-hmm. And Drake is in trouble if Kendrick drops anywhere near him, bro. He's in trouble. He's in peril. That nigga is in quicksand. Chubbs needs to drive over and drag that nigga out of the quicksand, because Kendrick not gonna let nobody breathe. But the problem is that
Kendrick said he's smoking on the top 5. He said, burn that hard drive, burn that single, burn that album, burn that hard drive, burn everything. Yeah.
Is that like Kanye's different? Kanye is has the largest tenure out of the stars out of the superstars we've been talking about. He has the deepest foot in the hip hop game when he just talks about lineage and legacy.
Most influence.
And Kendrick Lamar is one of those guys that since
Good Kid, Mad City.
Yeah, since Good Kid, Mad City, everybody's been like, okay, he's the guy.
Yeah.
He's the guy. We don't know what the trajectory is going to look like. We don't know how it's all going to be executed, but he's the guy. It's clear.
Yeah.
Is that Drake can't battle the creative, unique, and the high level rapping. He can't do that with singing. Like that's not how he can't combat those two things. Especially if it's 6 months later we get J. Cole.
RJ is fully in Kanye West stand mode, and I love it.
It's not. That's
I
feel it's wild because I
up in everything.
But it's really more about Kendrick, because I think that Drake can battle Kanye West when he only has to battle the gospel sound and not being in the coolness that Kanye West has and the swag that he has implemented over hip hop. That's easier for Drake to battle with, because there's a bunch of people where that Kanye style and swagger like is off-putting and they don't buy into it. Kendrick is different. You don't have to buy into Kendrick. Kendrick. It's like that YouTube album that Apple just put on people's phones.
Yeah,
you do not need to buy into it.
Kendrick
shit is coming straight at you.
Didn't Kendrick make a song with you too?
Yes, XXX. That shit was heat.
That was a good song too.
That shit was heat.
What was this? Oh man, I was repeating that song for a minute too. I forgot what the hook was, but that was a good song.
Niggas over nothing.
No. Hold on, no. Now you got me looking on Genius. Oh
like,
my.
Bitch, I did that. X-rated.
Wait, hold on. I am going to find this.
Cousin Johnny hustling.
Hold up. He was like, oh, when he after that part that you talking about, when he turns it up, he's like, yesterday I got a call from my dog, like no, I don't want to.
Yeah.
That they killed his only son because of insufficient funds.
That shit was crazy.
I was in heaven.
That whole part.
I was in heaven. I'm gonna listen to that song after this podcast is over. But that being said, RJ, this album's only been out for what, like 12 hours? Probably, maybe, like, it hasn't been out for a day yet. So what are the tracks that you currently have in your playlist? Not even your favorites, just all the ones that you added and you want to listen to again.
So I'm one of those people that had the actual songs from the live stream parties. So I've been listening to this shit for the last month and a half. Mm-hmm. My favorite songs are probably 24, Moon, Remote Control, Junior, Pure Souls, Okay, in Jail. I like Off the Grid. Hurricane is really good. Believe What I Say. Believe What I Say. Here's the thing that made, I know that Kendrick will never try to battle that because he doesn't make music like that. But Drake also doesn't, and he could, but he won't, is that songs like Believe What I Say are going to be the things that Kanye fans are like, well, Drake can't do this. And I remember hearing that song for the first time, and I was like, oh, fuck, like, what could Drake possibly do that's gonna match like something like this? Because he just doesn't get in that bag anymore. I honestly think that's why people liked Side A of Scorpion, because he got more into his rapper sample heavy bag. Yeah, that Drake he did that. He controlled that on Take Care and all that shit. That nigga could give you a fire 16 or 32 when he wanted to. And I mean, there's a lot of good songs on this shit, but I think Believe What I Say is my favorite. Is the song that like impacted me the most off the first listen. But I think that going forward, I mean, Remote Control and Moon are just like two of the craziest songs. I'm so tight that he took the Kid Cudi verse off of Remote Control because I knew it by heart and I was like, I was hyped for it, and then it never came. But one thing that I want to say before you can go into your songs is a lot of these songs are Drake adjacent. So songs like Okay, when he gets, okay, now they got me wanna rap again. Like I was like, oh, Drake could get on this. When in Remote Control, right before Young Thug's verse, he goes, whoa, whoa, whoa. And I remember the first time I heard that, I was like, is that Drake? I was like, what? Drake be loving to do the whoa, whoa. He loves that shit. I was like, is that Drake? Oh! And then it was Young Thug. I was like, oh, okay, it's Young Thug. Where's Drake though? Is that Drake could really be on Kanye West was making songs that Drake would like because he knows that Drake is a fan. I remember reading an article and Drake was like, I'm not that young fan that I was anymore. It's like, nah, nigga, it's Kanye. We know you're still a fan. Like, you can't just lie. This nigga has paid homage to Kanye West like every year of his career. So it's not like that nigga can just come out. I don't like his music. What are you talking about? But a lot of good songs on this. Drake has a tall order. Either way, I'm with Kendrick smoking on niggas' top fives. So
brother, you gotta add the brother after. I'm gonna just start saying brother just because Kendrick started doing it. But that being said, the tracks that are in my playlist, brother, are Off the Grid featuring Playboi Carti and Fivio Foreign, Hurricane, Lil Baby, and The Weeknd, Praise God, Baby Keem and Travis Scott, Okay, Fivio Foreign and Lil Yachty, Junya, Playboy Cardi, Remote Control featuring Young Thug, Heaven and Hell, Keep My Spirit Alive featuring Conway the Machine, Casey, and West Side Gun. I really like that West Side Gun verse. That might be my favorite West Side Gun verse. And
Thank God.
I don't really know if that means that much, but it's my favorite West Side Gun verse.
That's funny.
Jesus Lord featuring the Locks, Jay-Z, Jay Electronica, and Swizz Beats. I'm sorry, it's just so many people. And Pure Souls,
bro, and that's the
featuring Roddy Ricch.
That's also the real thing. Why both Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake all can't do that.
This is what
they can't have 80 features on their shit.
This is what a DJ Khaled album is supposed to be.
Seriously, but I also feel like DJ Khaled doesn't have any creative direction when he makes an album. Like Kanye does. Yeah. Kanye's making it out. I mean, he's literally named after his mom. Makes hits,
but
you know what I mean.
All right.
That's why DJ Khaled's like goal should be to make hits and get lucky, and he doesn't even do that well anymore. So it's like,
RJ, do you have anything else to tell the good people?
Certified Lover Boy, you on the clock. Clock has started. The clock been started, but now you on the fucking clock. Because guess what? Bro, push that shit back and let Kendrick drop. I dare you. See what happens. I'm not even gonna listen to your shit. I swear to God. Niggas gonna have to tell me that Drake album is good if Kendrick drop.
My God.
They gonna have to tell me. I mean, I'm sorry. I've been smoking on niggas top fives. I didn't know. I didn't know. I've been smoking on niggas top fives.
What is he gonna say? What is he gonna say, brother, this time?
Sister.
All right. Thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. This has been the real episode 221. Like and subscribe. Follow OldMilk on Instagram and Twitter at OldMilk Media. Yeah, stay safe. Wear your mask. We will see you next Tuesday when we talk about Certified Lover Boy, if it drops, or we'll just fanboy over Kendrick some more. We'll see. With that being said, yeah, Donda's out now. Although I will say,
we don't know how long. We don't know.
Yeah, although I will say, I don't really know how long it's going to be out for, because it's not supposed to be out at the time of this recording in the first place. But yeah, thank you for listening. Thank you for watching. We're out.